the close of business today, except for a few instances that I will bring to your attention. The one exception to this was in the eThekwini Metro in KwaZulu-Natal, where we had over 44,000 approved special votes. By yesterday, only 21,000 special votes had been completed. Additional staff has been deployed to expedite the processing of the remaining home visits today, and the Commission has instructed that home visits should continue, if necessary, beyond 5 p.m. scheduled to stop today. Other issues which have emerged in the assessment of special voting yesterday showed that special votes had been affected in a number of areas to varying degrees due to community protest action. The most severely impacted area was Maruleng in Limpopo, where some voting stations could not proceed on account of the threat that was posed to the process. This matter is being dealt with in conjunction with the security forces, and that situation is expected to turn around dramatically. Another incident widely reported on via Twitter yesterday involved a staff member from a temporary voting station in Guatemala in Springs on the East Rand, who had seemingly used the nearby house of a party agent to store materials overnight. This was in clear contravention of the established protocol for the storage of voting materials, and the election officials involved were immediately removed as election officials and replaced. The materials were recovered and have been quarantined. A further investigation will be conducted to establish whether charges brought against this electoral official have indeed been followed through. The Electoral Commission takes any threat to the integrity and credibility of the voting process extremely seriously. Any action or inaction which impacts on the credibility or perceptions of credibility will be swiftly and decisively dealt with. We thank those who brought this to our attention and for their vigilance in helping us to deal with this matter swiftly. Yesterday, we mentioned the challenge of cell phones and social media with regard to breaching secrecy. But this was a case in which a cell phone camera, an alert party agent, and the power of social media helped us to enhance the credibility of this election, and we remain grateful. Using social media, South Africa's 25.39 million voters, almost all armed with cell phones, are proving to be another powerful group of observers to this and future elections. With regards overseas votes, by this morning, a total of 15,327 completed ballots had been delivered to Election House in Centurion from 77 of the 116 missions that cast votes last week. Ballots from the remaining missions were expected to be delivered today and tomorrow. Finally, let me express again our confidence with regards to Election Day tomorrow. Our plans are in place, and we are ready to welcome voters from 7 a.m. until 9 p.m. tomorrow. We are happy to report that the weather is predicted to be clear over most of the country, with only 30% of scattered thunderstorms in parts of the Western Cape, Eastern Cape, and Northern Cape. However, strong winds in cases up to 45 kilometers per hour have been forecast for parts of the Western Cape, the Eastern Cape, Free State, and the Northwest. This could pose a challenge for a temporary voting station based in tents. Once again, we appeal to all voters to exercise patience and tolerance and to act in a manner which shows pride in our country as they visit our polling stations tomorrow. We make a special plea to those communities which have been expressing their frustrations and grievances through protest action to respect the right of all South Africans to make their voice heard through the electoral process. To all voters, we say, don't miss this opportunity to make your voice heard and to have your say in the future of our country. South Africa needs all of your votes. I thank you indeed. Thank you.
Thank you, CEO, for the update on special vote, overseas voting, as well as readiness for tomorrow. I'm going to take questions. I'm going to open the floor. We're going to, as you ask a question, please introduce yourself, and then from then we'll take the first round of questions and deal with issues as they. I'm going to start with here, go that way, and then third one.
Thank you. I'm Jean.
That was a live crossing to a media briefing, an IEC media briefing from the National Results Centre in Pretoria. Time to take a